Jaguar sold just 6 cars in Britain in one quarter, down from 783 the year before, a collapse of more than 99%. Showrooms nearly empty, production lines going quiet. One of Britain's most iconic car makers has all but disappeared from its own new car market. This wasn't a slow decline. The decisions behind it were deliberate, and what they reveal goes far beyond a single badge on a bonnet. These numbers are not estimates. They are drawn directly from the official United Kingdom new car registration tables, published by the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, and derived from DVLA records. To understand the depth of this decline, it is necessary to define what a registration actually represents. This is the moment a brand new vehicle is officially assigned its first license plate for road use. It is distinct from a retail transaction at a local dealership, and it has no bearing on the thousands of existing Jaguars currently running on British tarmac. But as a metric of new supply entering the market, the SMMT database confirms that in January of 2026, the entire country recorded just 6 new Jaguar registrations. In the exact same month 1 year prior, that number stood at 783. This statistical drop translates directly to the showroom floor. A standard premium retail environment relies on visible inventory, physical demonstrators, and regular foot traffic to secure buyer decisions. Today, visitors entering a British Jaguar franchise find a different environment. While used vehicles continue to fill the outside forecourts, the indoor new car display areas are empty. This does not mean the dealer network has permanently closed, nor does it affect the thousands of used cars currently in circulation. Instead, it represents a complete contraction of the retail proposition. Franchise owners are positioned between the manufacturer's future electric plans and immediate buyers looking for a vehicle today. The floor space is silent, stripped of physical stock and customer choice, as the brand pauses its traditional lineup before its new, high-end replacements are ready to be shown. In February 2021, Jaguar Land Rover announced a sweeping corporate strategy. Led by then Chief Executive Officer Thierry Bolloré, the initiative, titled Reimagine, outlined a fundamental structural shift. The strategy focused on a structural overhaul of the brand's commercial position, target demographic, and propulsion systems rather than a cosmetic logo redesign. The core of the program was an institutional directive to phase out internal combustion engines entirely. JLR established an original target date of approximately 2025 to transition the entire Jaguar portfolio to an all-electric lineup. By shrinking production volumes and targeting a smaller, highly exclusive customer base, executives planned to elevate the brand's market positioning. Environmental sustainability was placed at the center of this commercial direction. Thierry Bolloré presented the plan as a renaissance for the historic marque, aiming to secure high profit margins through lower volumes. This corporate announcement stood as an institutional promise of transition, establishing the exact strategic path that eventually cleared the physical vehicle inventory from British showrooms. Execution of this strategy began directly on the assembly lines. Throughout 2024, Jaguar dismantled its existing combustion lineup. Production of the XE and XF saloons, alongside the F-Type sports car, stopped entirely. By December of that year, the battery-electric I-Pace and the mild hybrid E-Pace SUVs also reached the end of their production runs. This left the F-Pace SUV as the sole conventional vehicle remaining in the brand's active portfolio. Unlike a standard industry product cycle where a retiring vehicle is immediately replaced by a newer generation, this transition created a multi-year product gap. The vehicles meant to fill this void existed only as design concepts and untested architecture. In engineering terms, there is a vast difference between a hand-built exhibition concept and a fully certified production vehicle ready for customer delivery. While rival manufacturers maintained a stable mix of internal combustion, plug-in hybrid, and battery electric options, Jaguar cleared its active catalogue. The new electric platforms remained in development, leaving retailers with nothing but empty slots where new models were supposed to stand. In late 2024, Jaguar introduced its new public identity under the slogan, copy nothing. This relaunch discarded the traditional Leaper logo in favor of a minimalist wordmark and a vivid, highly stylized visual palette. Rather than featuring a physical automobile, the global debut took place at Miami Art Week, prioritizing abstract cultural positioning over mechanical specifications. For existing owners accustomed to a heritage of executive performance and luxury, the presentation offered little practical product information. Specialist automotive journals and public forums recorded immediate criticism, questioning the sudden departure from the brand's established market identity. Industry analysts separate this qualitative consumer backlash from actual purchasing patterns. While the marketing campaign drew widespread public debate, registration records show the product pipeline had already been cleared of physical vehicles. There is no empirical evidence confirming that the advertising itself caused the subsequent registration decline, which occurred while showrooms remained entirely devoid of new inventory. The drop from 783 registrations to just 6 represents a calculated decline of approximately 99.2%. During this exact period, the broader British automotive industry was not in a slump. In 2025, the United Kingdom new car market recorded slightly more than 2 million annual registrations, representing a 3.5% year-on-year increase. Buyers were not rejecting electric propulsion. The same SMMT database records approximately 473,000 annual electric vehicle registrations in the UK, representing a 23.9% year-on-year increase. To verify if this contraction was brand-specific, official records allow a direct comparison. SMMT tables for the identical defined period, geography, and registration measure show that BMW and Mercedes-Benz sustained their market positions. While Jaguar's range contracted, these peer brands continued to offer multiple product options, collectively recording tens of thousands of monthly and quarterly registrations. This comparison identifies where to investigate rather than proving a single cause. The collapse did not stem from a sudden disappearance of premium buyers or a general decline in consumer spending. The British market was active, expanding, and highly competitive. The buyers were still there. They were simply choosing German marques instead. In September 2025, overall United Kingdom car production fell by approximately 24%. While a major cyber attack disrupting Jaguar Land Rover's manufacturing systems contributed to this drop, the decline highlighted the vulnerability of a supply chain already managing a major product transition. National statistics combine JLR Group output and general United Kingdom manufacturing, meaning this specific dip must be distinguished from Jaguar's standalone production schedule. However, reduced assembly activity creates immediate friction. Idle production lines apply pressure to parts suppliers, transport networks, and local industrial economies. This industrial slowdown reaches the retail network through empty vehicle handover bays. With 0 new models arriving, franchise owners must sustain operations through used vehicle sales and workshop servicing. This relies on existing owners keeping their cars on the road longer. For showroom staff and dealers, navigating this extended gap without physical inventory creates persistent operational uncertainty, testing the stability of the franchise model itself. This operational freeze was the direct consequence of a documented corporate choice. Under its long-term blueprint, management decided to withdraw established combustion models years before the replacement electric vehicles were ready for the market. This was a deliberate transition to a low-volume, highly exclusive position. The strategy banked on an unproven, ultra-luxury electric portfolio, with the first high-end GT projected to target a price of approximately $130,000. This plan required traditional buyers to accept a significantly more expensive and less familiar electric product. At the time of the 6-car registration result, there were no documented customer deliveries of this new range in the United Kingdom. The trade-off of this decision is clear. On one side was the potential for higher profit margins. On the other was a narrower customer base, minimal showroom traffic, and extreme exposure to any product delays. While some analysts interpret the empty showrooms as a strategic miscalculation, The physical product gap remains the primary documented mechanism behind the missing inventory. The central question remains, was this collapse an institutional failure, or was it the anticipated price of a calculated transition? For decades, the Jaguar name represented a specific pillar of British industrial identity. It was a fixture of the domestic road network, built on a reputation for executive luxury, performance engineering, and distinctive styling. From suburban driveways to company car parks, these vehicles were a familiar, daily sight across the country. To understand the current quietness in showrooms, a clear distinction must be made. The brand has not vanished from British highways. Thousands of used Jaguars continue to change hands, and older models remain active, even if a complete historical registration series is currently unverified. Instead, the vacuum exists entirely in the new car market. A nameplate that once anchored a significant portion of Britain's premium manufacturing output has, for now, ceased to introduce new vehicles to its home market. For enthusiasts and long-time owners, this creates a stark division, a rich history of automotive heritage on one side and an empty order book on the other. The path back to the market rests on a reported £15 billion 5-year investment, tied to a corporate ambition for net zero carbon operations by 2039. The immediate financial context remains highly constrained. The parent group recently reported a more than 99% fall in annual profit, a result reflecting the wider Jaguar Land Rover business rather than the standalone brand. The first new all-electric products are scheduled to arrive around 2026, with a broader electric lineup projected later in the decade. Whether this transition can succeed remains an untested proposition. Any recovery requires that the upcoming vehicles arrive on schedule, satisfy demanding buyers, and generate enough volume to support sustainable dealership economics. Outside of a single marque, this product gap exposes the broader pressures facing the British automotive industry as legacy manufacturers confront supply chain disruption, rising international competition, and strict regulatory targets. The milestones have been announced, but the vehicles have yet to be delivered. Today, those empty forecourts represent more than a corporate gamble. They signal a high-stakes industrial experiment where heritage is traded for unproven promises. As pressure mounts on legacy manufacturing, Jaguar's silent factories highlight the true cost of rapid electrification. The question is whether a historic industry can survive its own revolution. Join the conversation in the comments.